I somehow recorded this whole thing as an MKV, so my intro won't attach to it. So you get to get the live version. Let's chat. Put your listening ears on and talk to John. Not the same. The thing I want to chat about today is about the John Fogerty hard reset. What is that? Well, scientists have. No. What I'm talking about is, and also why I might look like I'm out of my mind tired, is because I am. And I'll explain why. The John Fogerty reset is a time and tested tradition that I do. When I feel like I've gone to bed, when I'm naturally getting tired at ridiculous hours, for instance, 5 o'clock in the morning, still not being that tired. And then that also obviously causes me not being able to get up early. And the old John used to say, sure, that's fine, I'll do everything I need to do in the evening. I'll be a night owl. Doesn't work that way. Because, and I think I've actually, and this is only a recent revelation, I think I've pinpointed why I'm more likely to do work in the morning than I am in the evening. And the reason is because when even if it's on a subconscious level, even if I don't actually feel it all the time, when I wake up past 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, / later, I could have all the best intentions in the world, but there's always going to be a part of me that's ashamed. And that's going to eat into my confidence. I'm going to get up, and there's always going to be a little part of me that goes, sure, oh God, sure, it's just way too late. Why did you go to bed so late? Rah, 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 rah. The brain is going to start going rah, 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 rah. Like, it does a lot. And that's going to make me sit there and be like, brain, shut off and watch stuff on YouTube. And nothing will get done. Case in point, why there was no videos Tuesdays, Wednesday, or Thursday. I'll get into that a bit. But I'll get into it now. Tuesday, Wednesday, because I kind of forget where I was going, but it was relevant to this. Oh, the hard reset. I'll explain the hard reset first. God, this is a very coordinated video. The hard reset, anyway, is I didn't go to bed. It's a fancy way of saying I didn't go to bed last night. It is now, can't read time, 10 to 9. It is now 10 to 9. I couldn't see if that was a 4 or a 3. And I haven't been in bed. It's Friday. This is Friday morning, the same day the video's released. And I haven't been in bed since like Wednesday night when I went to bed. But it has a track record, probably about a 50-50 success rate. The whole idea is that I stay up all night, then around 7 or 8 o'clock, get some time past dinner, and then go to bed. And then set your alarm, and set the alarm for something not even that egregious, maybe like 9. You know what I mean? And so, like I say, if you go to bed at like 11 and it goes off at 9, that's 10 hours sleep. That gives you enough time to, and you will sleep immediately because you're going to be so tired. Normally, I'll get into that. So you'll get enough sleep, you'll wake up, and then once you've the reset done, it's strictly staying to that routine. And that's why ultimately this has failed, because I always slip back into a night owl routine. But it has failed. It has worked. Ultimately, it's failed because I'm still a night owl. But it has worked in the short term for like even as long as a few months, a month or two. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, when I was working, I had to get up every morning. But I was always like, let's be real, when I was going to work, I was usually going to work on 3 hours sleep and stuff. And I got up because I had to get up. But my first 2 or 3 hours in work were just me being like, duh, 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 duh. Like, literally, one of my co-workers in my last job thought I was blind, even though I literally have just gone a few weeks ago to the doctor to get my eyes tested and said they were pretty much almost perfect. And the reason, I know exactly why it was, is because I was bleary-eyed. Even after a coffee, I was still sleep-eyes. I was like, is that a 5 or a 9 or a what? Plus, the numbers were ridiculously small on those screens anyway. But it was because I couldn't see properly because I was still half asleep. Um, one of the many reasons why that one coworker, did not like me very. But anyway, so the hard reset does work in the short term. I'm going to try and make it work in the long term by a strict schedule. I know what you're thinking. This is a cheap trick. It is a cheap trick, and it probably won't work. But I did it, and hopefully, I needed to do something because I was freaking sitting there, and I wasn't like, that was your first problem, John. You weren't lying there. You weren't in bed. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I've done that before as well. I will lie in bed, awake, because I'm not even remotely tired. But no, I was sitting there. It was gone 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, it feels like the middle of the day. I'm not tired at all. I just said, fuck it, I'm staying up. Doing the hard reset. The hard reset doesn't work for 2 reasons. Number one, it doesn't work sometimes for 2 reasons. Number one, there's the period that's going to happen later on that's called the wall. And the wall is generally between 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock. When you start getting tired, especially around 2 or 3 o'clock, you get so tired that you can't think straight. All you're thinking about is going to bed. And how much it sucks that you're awake right now. It's a bad time, but I've gotten through it before. That's the first way you fail. The first way you fail is falling asleep during this period. You fall asleep at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you wake up at 9 o'clock in the evening, and you go, fuck. Because you've actually just made it worse. 9 o'clock is now your frame of reference for waking up. That's not what you want. 9 o'clock in the evening. And that has happened to me before. Number 2 is the really weird one, which I can't explain, is that after the wall period, say maybe around 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, you're generally, I'm completely fine. Like, it's as if nothing happened. It's like I actually did get a night's rest the night before, and I'm cognitive, and I'm not tired, and I'm doing stuff. And what happens then is, because I'm an idiot, I'll stay up. I'll forget. I'll do stuff on the computer. I'll play video games. I'll do stuff. And then I look at the clock and I'm like, fuck, it's 2:30, 3 o'clock again. And for some reason, I'm still not that tired. How does this make sense when I wanted to die earlier by how tired I was? But the thing is, it's the brain. It's the brain coping somehow because, swear to God, you will walk to that bedroom going, I can't believe I'm not tired. I can't believe I'm not tired. I can't believe I'm not tired. The second you lie down, your body goes, you were wrecked, and you just fall asleep. So that's easy to fix. Just don't forget to go to bed. Even if you don't think you're tired, you're tired. So yeah, that kind of ties into why there was no videos Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday was a complete shit show. Just complete regression back into the old ways. Maybe even slightly worse. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's going to bed at all hours and getting up too late and then having just not the right frame of mind to do shit when I get up. So that was one of the main reasons for the hard reset, because I didn't want to give in, and I'm kind of trying everything to get myself into a place where I want to be. I've come to the turn, because there was always in the back of my mind, I was like, as long as you get your shit done in the evening / nighttime, you can become a night owl. Now I finally decided, no. You know what I mean? No, you need to get up in the morning. So yeah. So basically, the videos should be back next week. And apologies. Legitimately apologies. Will I be streaming tonight? Probably not, people, for obvious reasons. But keep posted, because as I said, if I get to the other end of the wall and I feel okay around 7 o'clock, and I'm still here in the world of the living, I could stream. But take it as I'm probably not. And if I don't let you know either way, I'm probably asleep. Game of Thrones is over. I know, right? What was it, 9 years, 10 years? Listen, whatever you think of the final episode, and I'll get into that. Whatever you think of this season, this last episode, everything. Still one of the greatest shows ever created. It's just, I think people forget that a little bit. Like people saying now it's because of how it ended, it's like one of the worst shows ever. Because of how badly it disappointed you. Ah, dude, not even slightly, not even close. I would still think of Game of Thrones as one of the greatest shows created. I never see a lot of people are like, it was nearly the greatest show ever. And it was a fantastic show. But for me it was never the greatest show ever. I wouldn't even want to there's so many contenders for that. There's shows that I know I preferred to Game of Thrones. Because I'm a book guy. And the books were always way better than the show anyway. So I always had the mindset of, yeah, pretty cool, all right. They did it better in the books. And then, famously, they went off the wall a little bit when they kind of were going on their own thing. But season 6 was good. Season 7 had its moments. And I'll get into season 8 slash the ending. I'll get into that now. 5, or I gave my rating on this before to someone, but 5 or a 6 out of 10. I said a 6 out of 10, but the more I think about it, the lower it gets in my estimation. I've had time to reflect. As I said, I usually do that. There's my base reaction, and usually what happens is my base reaction is either like, that was fucking awesome, and then it goes to like, yeah, when I think about it. But my initial reaction for this episode was a 6. And now after reflection, I think it might be a 5. So not that much of a difference. And a lot of people out there are probably going to think that a 6 is too high. 6, to me, it was slightly above some of the worst episodes of Game of Thrones. I personally disliked episode 1 of this season because nothing really happened. And then they did episode 1 but better in one of my favourite episodes of the season, episode 2. But I agree, they should have squished those 2 episodes together. Episode 1 was basically filler with 1 or 2 reveals. Episode 2 was lovely. It was written well. I've talked about episode 2 before. I really liked it. But I agree that should have been just one episode 1 and 2 smushed together. Even do a 2-hour if you wanted to. Episode 1, a 2-hour, and then do the other 5 episodes. You know what I mean? It's like Twin Peaks did that. Twin Peaks season 3 had a 2-hour first episode, but it wasn't the first 2 episodes. It was the first episode was just 2 hours long to get you into it. By the way, Twin Peaks The Return, aka Twin Peaks season 3, kind of. I won't get into it too much. But I'll have to get into it in the video. But something, probably one of my favorite shows of all time. I put Twin Peaks: The Return, that one-off 25 years later season, far above Game of Thrones, and it's only one season. The Return, I'm talking about.
Do you really want to fuck with this?
Not a light. Not a light. Not a light.
Fucking amazing. But I'm a David Lynch fanboy, so that's kind of you're talking to a biased person on this. But episode 6, there's the obvious issues that people have been talking about. There's the more I think of Bran as king, the only way I can swing it in my brain, and by the way, I get the idea. I get what they were going for. I get that it's like, he wants not, so he will take not. I get that what they were trying to do, and I could see this being the ending of the books, but with George R. R. Martin, having the time to flesh this out, I can see Bran being the king, something that happened in the books. Honestly. But because they rushed it so bad this season, it made basically no sense. But the only way I can see it working, and I've seen a few fan theories about this, and they make me giggle, and I do enjoy them, is how Bran was actually orchestrating to be king, rather than it was destiny and was always going to happen. Like, Joe and people are like, sure, what was the point of fucking telling Jon about his lineage? It never amounted to anything, didn't it? It made him tell Sansa and Arya, who told Tyrion, who told Varys, who fucking got Dany all hot and bothered, strained their relationship, and made Dany go apeshit. One of the reasons why Dany went apeshit. Which led Jon to kill Daenerys, which led Bran to the throne. If you see him as like a fucking Kira from fucking Death Note, like an absolute, like just, or and I suppose more actually no, L would be more apt. Just an absolute genius of like everything was set up by him, so like because he mapped out everything, to become king. Like if he actually had bad intentions and knew that all the people were going to die just so he could be king, that's kind of cool. But they were definitely not going for that. What else? I saw a great fucking meme. It wasn't. It was by the way, check out Critical. He's Penguin Zero. He's Critical. He's like a famous YouTuber. He fucking hated it. He was talking about when they were all sitting around deciding who's going to be king. And he was just like, half these people don't know who Bran is. Like, really? The guy who was missing for seasons? who are we voting for? Bran? I. Oh yeah, Bran. Who's Bran? That was funny. He does it a lot funnier, but it was great. But yeah, makes no fucking sense. Jon going beyond the wall again. This is the common complaint. Grey Worm is sailing off to fucking Nath to be with nobody because he wants to go there with Missandei because that's where she's from. Now he's going to go there and he's going to be like, Nath, why am I here? Anyway, plus, no, I'm not. I was going to say something nerdy there, but you don't want to hear it. But there's, I'm going to say it, but I'm going to say it in the nerdy voice. But in the books, they describe Nath being a place where it's covered with poisonous butterflies that all the locals are immune to. So any outsiders automatically die when they go there. So that's why they don't have an army, but they've never been taken over. So if Grey Worm went there, he'd just get killed by the butterflies. Then obviously they don't give a shit about. Like, that's not in the show. Just stop it. I saw that, by the way. I saw that being flung around and people would be like, yeah, it's bullshit. It's like, I read the books, but even I'm not that fucking nerdy. They obviously just didn't do that in the show. That's never once come up in the show. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, but the point of that was, why not be like, I was half expecting it to be like, you will forgive me, Jon, for sending you to the wall. I thought Jon would be like, yeah, but like, in 2 weeks you're going to send the Raven and say, come back, right? Because when Grey Worm's gone, nobody gives a shit. And I know it's like, Jon has honor. He killed Dany. She was my queen. You are my queen. I don't want it. You are my queen. I never wanted it. Basically 80% of Jon Snow's dialogue this season. You are my queen. I don't want it. Yeah, disappointing. Disappointing is all I can really say about it. Some of the endings were nice. Like it was all nice. Which I suppose isn't a bad thing, but like Jon got to be with Ghost. That's why I bucked it up from a 5 to a 6, because he got to pet Ghost. That's good. I was happy about that. He really fucked Ghost over. It's disappointing. I know people who hated with vitriol, but like they'd lost me at episode 3. I'll be real. Like, it was a great spectacle, but after Arya stabbed the Night King, I was like, every theory. And again, like, the show never really... Like, the show did do The Prince Who Was Promised, like the whole Melisandre storyline. But the prophecies, they mentioned them, and blah, blah, blah. And the books, they're fucking there. Like, obviously, they just didn't... You know, they just didn't... They weren't... People were expecting it to be the books. You know what I mean? Where I was like, they're not going to do... by episode 3, I was like, they're doing none of that. Okay. And then I went along for the end of the ride. And episode 5 I loved. And I went into this last week. I loved episode 5. I thought it was very, very good. And compared to this fucking boring last episode. That's what I'll say. Boring. And I'm not being like, a bit too wordy for you, John. Not enough battles. No. I love the politics and shit in Game of Thrones. But it wasn't even politics. It was just like... And then this guy got a happy ending, and then this guy got a happy ending, and why not Bran? Why Bran? Also a good question. He's got the best story. Really? Was he? He became a tree man, and he can go into ravens. Fucking, he's got a best story. Give the throne to, I don't know, Sansa. She got a great story. Fucking, all that shit she overcame to beat where she was. I know she ended up being Queen of the North, but, you know what I mean. People had a lot better stories than Bran did, believe me. He's one of the most boring characters. Anyway, I've said enough. It was disappointing, but not... I can understand the amount of hate because of how disappointing it was, but it wasn't offensive in any way. It wasn't, like, offensively bad. It was just... Yeah, sure. What I thought was going to happen was at the end when Jon went out and it cloppity 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 clop. I thought they were going to see something. I thought it was going to be like, oh my god, the woods aren't empty. Something's alive. I thought there'd still be like, just like not for a sequel or anything, but just like, oh, magic isn't quite dead. Actually, for a second, I thought Drogon was going to be there because there's like we don't know where Drogon is. Maybe I'll go find him. Fucking Bran. I thought that was setting up for us to see where Drogon was. No. And then when I knew when Jon Snow, when that had like the last scene feel, I thought it was going to be Drogon being like, Daddy, because you know Jon's a Targaryen. And I thought I'd have a dragon beyond the wall or something. I don't know. That's what I kind of thought for a second. I've given out about Game of Thrones long enough. Did you enjoy it? Do you enjoy Game of Thrones? Have you trouble getting up in the morning sometimes? Have you ever done a hard reset? Let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you got to the end of this video, put tired. Put tired in a sentence, because I'm very tired right now. And I know you got to the end of the video. As always, I love you. There'll probably be no skits or cuts in this video because, again, I'm very tired. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!